Okay, y'all. Look like the Mexican woman that put the video up. She has played the whole Dr. Martin Luther King video on top of her voice, and you can't really hear what she's saying, but that's okay. We can still do this. I don't need that. So let's see here. I'll get her we don't need that. We can still talk about this for real. So we have a woman, and she wants to know if the Mexicans can use Dr. King's We Shall Overcome, right? She wants to know if Black people would not mind if she used this song for their theme song because they are being mass deportated out of the country? Well, first of all, this song was never intended for deportations. And I don't understand what she means, because what have Mexicans need to overcome in a land that they should not be in the first place? That song came about because of our ongoing struggle. Okay. At that time, Jim Crow was still going on in the country. Hell, it still is now. And our people were still getting lynched. Our people were still being denied service when they went out to places. They were given a hard time everywhere they went. And they were fighting not only for equality, but their freedom. How are Mexicans fighting for their freedom sitting illegally in somebody else's country? I mean, what are you overcoming exactly? Because I don't really believe this song fits for their cause. And besides, y'all keep getting on videos talking about how much better you are than Black people, and how y'all do things better than Black people, and you work harder than Black people. Well, how come y'all can't work hard in coming up with your own song? Okay, you claim you do all this stuff better than us. How come y'all can't come up with your own song? And no, I don't feel it's an appropriate song for y'all. Y'all weren't getting lynched up in here. Nobody was denying you service here. If anything, they took good care of y'all when you got here. We heard about the ATM cards and the SNAP y'all were getting, and your shelters and hotel rooms and apartments and cars. We heard about all that stuff. What are you overcoming? You know, you need to go back home. That's what you need to do, instead of trying to hijack songs from the civil rights movement. You need to carry your butt back home. That's the best thing you should do. And stop worrying about what you can lift off of us, because this is no different than any of these other groups up in here that's always trying to tell us we're low IQ and stupid, but still stealing from us. Okay, that's played out. Nobody is believing that stuff, if they ever did. Okay, nobody is believing that. Come up with your own song. Why can't you? Isn't it a bunch of y'all? Y'all can't come up with a song? So, no, I don't feel illegally stepping into somebody's country and then getting deported out here is something that you need to overcome. If you need to overcome somebody or something, why don't you overcome your crooked politicians and those governments in those countries you come from? How come y'all want to fight everywhere except for there? It never makes any sense. You want to come to America and fight to stay here, but you won't fight in your own homeland to get things right? How come y'all do that? How come y'all fight every damn where except for your country? What the hell is up with that? It never made any sense. If you said because I heard y'all talking and saying your governments are corrupt. If your governments are corrupt, then fix it. It amazes me how you will form your lips to tell us you're better than Black people, but you won't go home and fight your government. What kind of garbage is that? No, you're not better than us. See, if you were, you would be back home making some gains when it comes down to your oppressive government, but you're not doing that. But you are trying to ride the coattails of the very people that you don't like. And see, this is the story of our lives. Everything we do, everything we come up with is ripped off. And at the same time, the people that are ripping it off lets us know you don't like us. So sorry, not this time. You gonna have to carry your butt back home and fix what's ever wrong. And y'all do us all a favor. When you hop across the fence, keep us out of your mouth. Keep us out of your mouth when you come across the fence. Because we ain't trying to hear you. You're not paying taxes up in here. Many of you are getting paid under the table. Even how you get paid in America is illegal. And no, I just don't feel, I ain't feeling you like that. And I'm definitely not feeling sorry for you for walking that long distance just to turn around and get thrown out. So no, I if it was up to me, I would tell her no. You absolutely can't use that song because it does not fit you. You didn't overcome nothing, and therefore the song would not be appropriate for you. That's what I would tell her. That's what I would tell her. Oh, they are at the end of the day, Andre, they are all culture vultures. Now, let me give you some examples. You ever look at how Asians dance? If you put up an Asian video and they're playing, a music from a melanated artist, look at how they are dancing exactly like us. How many times have you seen that? I've seen it. How many times have you pulled up a video of somebody of another background, ethnic background, and they sound like a black man or black woman? I've seen it. I've seen it. How many times have you pulled up a video and somebody out in India is dressed just like somebody in hip hop? I've seen that too. Okay, I've seen it too. So, no, it's not just the Latino, it's literally every group on this planet that imitate everything about us, even our mannerism. Do you remember seeing the videos of the Japanese getting afros and trying to imitate woolly hair like us? I mean, it's literally everybody. I mean, they all do it. hmm Yeah. And y'all notice how many of them, it doesn't matter what their background, white people, Latinos, Asians, well, they'll talk and they have a black scent. How many times have you seen that? Where you watch a video and they got a black scent. So it's everybody, y'all. Everybody's trying to get a piece of us all the time. How you doing, Moriel? Brother Moriel is in the house. Yes. I remember when I first saw the Japanese getting their hair curled so it looks woolly, and people were shocked. They're not just doing that in Japan, they're doing it in China too. They're doing our hairstyles in China too. Mhm. Yeah. So y'all just think about it. Everything we do gets hijacked, right? Thank you, Dana Mitchell, for the super chat. Thank you too. Okay. So if we let the Mexicans use we shall overcome, they will conveniently forget that is, it's really a spiritual that came out of our people. And, watch how the media will act like this is the Mexican song. Do you know the Dreamers? That was us. This was not that they just put that on the illegals and start calling them dreamers, but actually they're not the dreamers. We were the dreamers. Why would somebody come to a country illegally and be a dreamer? No, it was the people that were fighting an oppressive government that were the real dreamers in this country. And the Democratic Party had everything to do with them hijacking it and putting it on the illegals. So if you think they did that, you think they wouldn't try to pin "We Shall Overcome" and act like it came out of Mexico? Of course they would. Of course they would. That's right. They weren't dreaming for anything. I don't know where they got that from. hmm Yeah, I mean, so I think she must have gotten attacked over this, because when you go out there and play the video now, all you really hear is Dr. King's voice, and you can kind of faintly hear her in the background. Oh yeah, yeah, you got that right, brother Moriel. They always try to act like something is being done to them. The afflictions are on them, and it's never been on them. It's never been on them at all. hmm Okay, so in your entire history in your country, y'all don't have any songs about freedom. So in all of Mexico, if we looked at the kind of music that comes out of Mexico, y'all don't have any songs about freedom. Hey, well, I would say that's your problem. What does that got to do with us? hmm Well, they can put their mariachi band out there, and whatever they blow out of them horns, then use that as your freedom song, because we don't have nothing to do. Our plight has nothing to do with theirs at all. hmm Yes, Tracy R. Nelson, you said a mouthful. They need to resolve their own problems. And, please don't use anything from us. Resolve your own problems in your best way. Put forth your best foot and try to do these things on your own. Whenever we got things going on, none of you other groups ever step up for us. It is just tiring. Every time something happens to y'all don't see nobody but the Black community. That's all you see. Y'all don't go and address these white folks, who are really the ones y'all should be addressing. They are the ones that got these plans on the books to get you out of here, but you won't address them. You will not address your daddy. You won't do it, but you'll make a beeline to us. We have seen it with the Palestinians, we've seen it with the Jews, and now the Latinos are doing this to us now. Everybody wants our attention. Everybody wants us to come and stand up. And at the end of the day, we have done it before. Whenever we stand up for these other groups, as soon as they get what they want, they don't know who we are anymore. So, no, nobody is playing that game with y'all anymore. Mm-mm. No, they can sing Ray Charles, "Hit the Road Jack." That's what they can. They can sing that on their way out. And so if you want to sing a song, I'll pick that song for you, and you sing that on your way out. That's all I got to say. hmm No, but you can see, no matter what these folks say about it, and another funny thing they do is when they get here, then they start talking about their homeland like it is a place with no flaws. Oh, it's great. In Mexico, it's great, this, that. Mexico got probably one of the highest rates of murder per capita, y'all. And it's got to be one of the top murdering countries in the world. There's a lot of human trafficking, it's a lot of murders. But if you listen to these people, you would think that the place was flawless. Oh, we're doing fine. We stick together. Okay, well, the voting kind of debunks y'all sticking together. All right, 55% of Latino men voted for Donald Trump. 38% of Latino women voted for Donald Trump. So I think it kind of debunks that you stick together. Nobody is listening to that anymore. Y'all are probably more divided than we are. You know, you're more divided than we are, but you're trying to tell us y'all stick together. You really don't. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Dr. Sharon, for your super chat. What did you say? Hold on, I gotta slow it down some. What did you say here? Okay. You said, let them sing America the Beautiful. We need to sing Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson's song Scream. I'm tired of all these people. Yeah. Yeah, so am I. But thank you for the super chat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these folks are something else. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. Charles Greg McGregory, that is very true. They always come here telling us how great their country is. Well, if it's so great, what are you doing here? Yeah, yeah. You know it. Anytime it's pure hell for them to stay in their own country, those countries have been under judgment, y'all. They have been under judgment all this time. That's why they're trying to escape all of the oppression and everything they're going on there. And just from listening to them, most of them are afraid to fight the governments in their own countries. They're too scared to do it. And they always come here. Y'all always complain. Y'all always complain. Well, one thing about us, if you don't open your mouth and speak out, then how do you get the things that are wrong corrected? You're not going to get anything corrected by staying silent. And they don't realize if our people weren't complaining the way that we did, they wouldn't be here today. They wouldn't even be allowed in this country at all. Hmm. And I was listening to a video, and they said along the way it's very dangerous for women to be in those caravans coming across all those Latin countries to get to the border, because a lot of the women get raped along the way. A lot of them do, taking that walk from their home countries into America. They said a lot of those women don't even make it. They get beaten and they get raped along the way. Many of them do. And they said some of the children get kidnapped when they're in those caravans, and they get trafficked. They will traffic the children. So it's not an easy journey from where they come from all the way here. Those caravans are very dangerous, from what I understand. Very dangerous. But they take the trip and they subject their children to it. I'll never forget. Um, this must have been like back in the early part of 2000. Somebody had their 3-year-old child walk from their country into America by himself. And somebody at the border stopped this small little 3-year-old child and realized he was walking this journey all by himself. I was like, who would put their child through that? A 3-year-old. Think about that. How is that 3-year-old going to feed themselves? You sent them out there. They don't even have a change of clothes. They have nothing. No food, no money, no nothing. And somebody did that. And that is something nobody ever complains about. A lot of these illegals talk all that mess and they put their children in harm's way. You'd be shocked at how many of these kids, small children, come across those borders unattended by a parent. It happens all the time and nobody says a word about it. But I will never forget that. The Border Patrol took this 3-year-old child and had to take him to one of the centers, the centers that they had set up. But somebody did that. They sent a 3-year-old across the border by himself. But see, nobody says nothing about these Latinos doing that mess. But you let one of us leave our children unattended. Oh, they will be sending child protective services after our people. But they never say nothing about these illegals that do this every single day with their underage children. Even the Cubans did it. Do y'all remember Elian Gonzalez? His mother died along the way in the journey, and he ended up coming from Cuba. His mother drowned into America. You'd be shocked at how many of these children come in this country like that. Mm-hmm. That's why, don't let these people try to trash talk us and talk down to us. They don't have a leg to stand on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they sure do. They sure do come here, and all of that tax money they refuse to give us for reparations, but they will give every dime away to people like this woman on the screen that haven't paid one tax dollar in this country, have not contributed in any kind of way, but they are coming here and literally getting more, really getting our reparations. They're giving it all to these folks. James Richardson, you said, remember 8 years ago, 60 Minutes did a story of these people coming across the border. I think I vaguely remember, every now and then they'll do those stories. Hmm. Yeah. We talked about Ukraine earlier in another live stream I did. Y'all, there's a story out there that these Ukrainian women want to pay brothers, yes, the melanated brothers, $15,000 if they will marry these Ukrainian women. $15,000 to marry a Ukrainian woman. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Well, I did see that story. I've seen that story out there probably for like the last week or so. I saw that out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. 15,000. Yeah, I sure wouldn't spend. No, I sure wouldn't take it. Mm-mm. Yeah, well, these little angry illegals can go home. That's the best advice I can give her. And no, I mean, maybe along the way when you're walking a long journey, y'all can make up a song for yourself. You sure got all the time in the world to do so. So make up a song along the way. You can make up a song on the deportation plane that's taking you back to your home country. You can do that too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I even heard some of them say they just going to come back. The ones that got flown out of here, some of them said they coming back. They don't care. Tempest, thank you for the super sticker. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Let me give some. Randy Moore, thank you for becoming a new channel member. Dana Mitchell, thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Tim Shelton, thank you for the super sticker. Brian K. Davis, thank you for the super sticker. Dr. Sharon, thank you for the super chat. Brooklyn 71881, thank you for the super sticker. And Tempest 78, thank you for the super sticker. Man. Okay. So, y'all, this is going to be interesting. With Donald Trump in charge, one thing I can say, these last 2 weeks, this man has been in office nearly 2 weeks. It has not been a dull moment in America. It has not been a dull moment in America. And I don't know if you've seen the stories. They have now revealed the drone situation. They said the FAA is behind many of the drones in the sky, and many of them also belong to citizens. So that's what they're claiming. That's what they're claiming. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah, they will, because years ago I was listening to them interview some of the illegals, and some of them said they've been deported like 3, 4 times, and they just keep right on coming back. They don't care. Mm-hmm. Well, the number that Donald Trump want to get out of here for the next 4 years, we'll see if he's able to do it. He didn't do it the last time. I think still Obama has the biggest number of deportations under his belt. And I think Donald Trump did probably like half of what Obama did. Obama still holds the record in getting the most people out of here. He did over 4 million. Yeah, I heard it was a town down there in Mississippi that's thinking about passing, for citizens, they will be able to get $1,000 bounty on each immigrant they turn into ICE. Now, I don't know if they're going to pass it, but they're definitely kicking it around. Yeah, I mean, drones have, if they can stay up there all night, yeah, they got a lot of power. And not only that, drones work underwater. That's why you're hearing them saying, oh, we saw them come out of the ocean. Yeah, because you can put a drone underwater and it still works. If you don't believe it, just pull up the videos of drones underwater. That's what they do. Now, sometimes they won't send a diver down whenever they need to see what's on the bottom of an ocean. They won't send a diver down, but they'll just, they'll have a camera on a drone and they will send the drone down. Mm-hmm. But I think these drones are a little different than the average drone. Remember, some of them are like car size. Yeah, there are many different types of drones, but these are drones, and they said they're from the FAA. So I would imagine they would be a little better than a typical drone. And you know who these drones belong to, because if you get a drone, your drone has to be registered. Every single drone you see must be registered if you buy them. So they know who they belong to, y'all. Don't let these people try to act like they don't know who these drones belong to. They most certainly do. You have to register a drone before you can even put it up in the air. Blue Tinsel, you said, why would the FAA want to crowd the airspace even more? Because I believe, number one, you know why? I think they're spying on us. I do. I believe they're spying on us. And yeah, it's whenever they do it, you can also know that it's for some shady behind reason. Mm-hmm. Brian Maximilian Alpha. I already did a video on Selena Gomez. You're gonna have to go back and look. I did it like 2 days ago. And she's a billionaire. You know how many people she could, instead of sitting there crying on a video, she could do a lot in helping her own people. She's a billionaire. You know how much she could help her people? What you crying on a video for? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, look, instead of crying on a video, get out there and on your feet. And you know what? Some people, she took her video down because some people were, kind of clowning her out, and they were telling her she should be deported. So she ended up taking that video down that she was crying on because some people were telling her she needs to be deported. Get her butt out of here. Please, with $1 billion, she can provide housing for her people. She can even put her people to work. With $1 billion, you can even put your people to work. So I don't know what she crying for. Mm-hmm. Well, oh Johnny, he is a liar. He you know what John has done? He tries to lift our history and put it on Latinos. That's what he does. He's full of crap. He's just like Fat Joe. You can't believe nothing he says. He's a big liar just like Fat Joe. And Fat Joe, he wants to take our spot. He thinks the black community get too much attention, and he wants to take our spot. He said it's time for them to rise. Yeah, well, you better rise somewhere else, buddy. You better rise somewhere else. I mean, he's a Puerto Rican. Why don't you rise over there in Puerto Rico? Mm-hmm. Well, the last time Fat Joe got on the stage, didn't he get booed? He got booed. Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Once we turn away from you, your career is done. His all them Puerto Ricans ain't going to support him like that, and they don't. So once you lose us as your audience, it's over. Look at what happened to Buster Rhymes when he came out talking crap about Black Americans, and then he revealed that he was from Jamaica and said that we don't have no culture. Now nobody will go see Buster Rhymes. I think I saw that concert he gave, and you could count the people in the audience on one hand. It was literally nobody there. So he messed himself up big time. Yes, he was booed in Chicago, Michelle Harvey. Yes, he sure was. Y'all crack me up. Buster Slime. Okay. Only y'all can come up with these creative names. Yeah, and I saw Fat Joe, Sloppy Joe. I've seen that out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think, and this is just my opinion, I think celebrities, now that we are in these final days, I'll talk about celebrities here and there if something newsworthy comes out. But in all honesty, y'all, celebrities are not the way to go anyway. We're not going to get any salvation through a celebrity. And, that's why they got publicists, because they said the average celebrity you wouldn't even like if you knew what their personalities were really truly like. They probably wouldn't have much of an audience. Many of them are unlikable. So, you know, our focus really should not be heavily on celebrities anyway. That's all I'm saying. I remember when I spoke to Ronald Dalton Jr., the author of Hebrews to Negroes, and, his documentary and everything. I spoke to him a couple of times by phone. And one thing he said to me, he said there were a lot of celebrities that contacted him about Hebrews to Negroes. And he said, you'd be surprised at how many of these celebrities know who they are. And they have contacted him and wanted to talk to him about, the fact that they know they are Hebrews. He said, but they stopped short because they don't want to lose their careers. So they don't want out there that they know who they are, because they're in fear that they won't get any more work. And I remember we spoke about that back when all that stuff was going down with Kyrie Irving. He and I, we spoke about that. We spoke a couple of times on the phone. Mm-hmm. And I believe that. I believe a lot of people out here know who we are. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did know Whitney Houston. She knew. I saw that video of her when she went over to Israel. She wouldn't shake none of the Ashkenazi Jews' hand. They were extending their hand to her, and Whitney would not shake their hand at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. That's where Whitney got baptized. She and Bobby went to Demona. And while she was over there, she got baptized. I remember that. Hmm. Yeah, they weren't happy about that because you know how some of these people are. They think they're way more important than what they really truly are. Yeah, it's just one of those things. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll definitely come back together again to do another topic. And thank you for watching the videos. Boy, y'all really getting my numbers up there. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Look, 1,357 people here. And trust me, with Donald Trump in office, we will never run out of material, y'all. I can tell you that with a certainty. We will never run out of material as long as this man is the sitting president of the United States. Mm-hmm. Ooh, Copeland. Somebody mentioned Copeland. Hold on. Are you talking about Kenneth Copeland? You know that weirdo pastor that got the face of Satan himself? That dude? Y'all be bringing up some crazy stuff. Yeah, I seen that. That dude looked like the devil himself. Ah, wow. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night for real. Shalom, family.